Amazon workers want Andy Jassy, who's the CEO of Amazon, to cancel the return to office plan. Now, Alex, I got some thoughts on this today. I'm just warning you, you snowflakes. You're already going to be mad at me, so I've just decided to embrace it because maybe I'll get you mad enough to pay attention because I do think you have to be careful. I'm not anti-remote, and I don't think less of remote workers. What I am is anti-griping, and I'm anti-protesting. Wait a second, Ken. You say you're a man of the people. I am. Well, what do you think about the First Amendment? I would die for it. But I'll explain why I'm anti-protesting in the work environment in a second. So here's the news. Andy Jassy, Amazon CEO, announced last week that Amazon's corporate staffers would be required to be at their desks at least 3 days per week. Now, let's just start there. They didn't say 5 days a week. They said at least 3. I don't want to come back. Shortly after Jassy's announcement, employees started a remote advocacy channel on Amazon's internal Slack messaging system to tout the merits of remote work and push back on the return to the office mandate. More than 14,000 employees had joined the group as of Tuesday of this week. The remote advocacy channel members have also drafted a petition, Alex. I mean, it wasn't enough that they created a group and they decided to let Amazon executives know all of the positives of remote work. They're informing their leadership. Okay, that's good. That's good. And then they want to push back. But then they drafted a petition. Now it's serious. We have put our name on the petition. We don't want to come back to the office. One Amazon worker is quoted in this New York Post article. This is going to be absolute chaos and make everyone's work distracted for probably a quarter, maybe longer. It's hard to be productive with so much uncertainty injected into our lives. And again, where is the uncertainty? You're going to be required to come back to the office at least 3 days a week. This you can be certain of. Where's the uncertainty? What? They just told you. You're going to make you come back 3 days a week. So does that suck? Okay, sure. But what are your options? Well, there are two. Do it or leave. But they think that the third option is the only option. The third option being protesting. We're going to sign a petition. We are going to create a work group. And we are going to make our leaders bend to our will. Okay. Now, let me acknowledge, while I don't think that's going to work across the board, it is reasonable to believe that some companies will do this. I mean, we've seen some pretty big companies, which I'm not going to get into now because I don't want to distract from this story and then the next one I'm about to share. But we've seen some pretty big companies cave over a small percentage of employees whining and crying and throwing a temper tantrum, because that's what this is. Next story, and then I'm going to wrap it all up and tell you that we are in a very precarious place in this country, in the world of work. And it concerns me, and I'll unpack it. Second story, Disney workers rebel against return to office mandate. More than 2,300 workers have signed a petition addressed to CEO Bob Iger, urging the executive to abandon the planned return to offices. claiming it is likely to have unintended consequences that cause long-term harm to the company. Well, how do they know? They don't. This is a threat. This is a passive-aggressive threat, this kind of a statement. It's like they're talking down to their leaders, people who are running the company. Bob Iger's been a successful CEO, but it's this, I don't mind you disagreeing with your leaders. In fact, I promote healthy disagreement with your leaders. But let me tell you what it should look like. Isn't there a popular trend on social media, like where it started and where it is now? Am I right about that? Something like
how it started, how it's going.
Oh, thank you, Alex. How it started, how it's going. So I've got one for you. You ready? In the world of work in America today, I've got a how it started, how it's going. Here's how it started. When you had disagreements and concerns with your company leadership, you would push back privately. You go to your leader. You would be an adult. You would make a strong case and not go in threatening anything. You would just say, I've got these concerns. This is a problem. I'm reporting this. I'm concerned, and we're going to have a conversation. And then we see what leadership does with it. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it does not. But it was how it started. It was pushback privately. Get a group of team members together and go see your leader and have a conversation. How it's going? We just reported on it. We protest publicly. We head to the streets. We walk out. Starbucks employees just all get up and walk out, leaving the store unminded, unlocked. Well, we are protesting. No, you're acting like a toddler. I'm all for protesting under a righteous cause if it is political in nature, but in a business nature, it's not political. You don't get a vote, folks. I know you want to vote, but you don't get a vote. You do have a voice, but to use the voice the right way is to go back to the way it was, push back privately, and then figure out if you want to stay or not. But this protesting publicly is creating a very untenable and potentially volatile situation in America. We got to stop this nonsense.